Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is T, and I'm joined by my good friend Mitch.
Hello.
Hey, and we're gonna finish off the group stage of the Mario Kart Tour World Cup with Ecuador and Chile facing against each other. There's nothing that they're playing for. They're just mainly playing for that third spot in Group C. But yeah, very fun to see those teams. Haven't really shown Ecuador off at all, so we'll see how they do their debut in the cast. But before we talk about the lineups and whatnot, let's first talk about the standings real quick, Mitch. And right now we see that we kind of concluded a lot of Group A and all the other groups, but yeah, we do see that Group A is finished, and kind of a surprising result, but El Salvador taking the first spot.
Yeah, so a lot of interesting developments, even since in the past 2 hours, one of them being El Salvador taking first place. In Group A, again, a huge upset in this group. Not the only upset, though, of course. We saw Colombia earlier taking their win over Peru, but man, like, just completely unexpected result, I think, for almost everyone. But yeah, this makes the group draw even more interesting, or the bracket stage draw even more interesting. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because I think what is it? Peru and Mexico will now be in that second spot, and they could play some pretty heavy hitters.
They have the chance to play USA or Japan in quarterfinals.
Is honestly unheard of. Honestly, it's crazy to think.
No one, I don't think anyone like 2 weeks ago would have even even thought of that as a possibility. And here we are.
Yeah, and still, but yeah, but let's talk about. We can talk about the other stuff. We talked about Group A, Group B, Group C. USA took care of Ecuador in a kind of a close match, I think. I saw, I think, the +30 for United States.
A 30-point win.
Yeah, so a solid win.
They were saying that it could have been a much larger win. They didn't play at their best, but regardless, a win is a win, and they're going to come out with the biggest plus-minus differential out of the entire group stage. So, definitely, mostly due to their huge win over France we saw yesterday. But regardless, 3 wins is 3 wins, and that'll put them first place in their group.
Right, and then I kind of want to take a look at Group D real quick. Just got us to the United Kingdom taking down Brazil, who were kind of poised to be like kind of the automatic. I mean, a lot of people didn't really think of UK could be able to take down Brazil, but they did a really good job, and very good at that young team in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, it was great to see that match. Close match as well. I believe they won by 4 points. So, coming out on top in that match. And yeah, like you said, that UK had a lot of newer, quote-unquote, newer players that hadn't been on Team UK in the past. Specifically, players like Zaber and Alex, who were new to the event this year. Zaber, in particular, dropping a lot of great scores for UK. But yeah, as you can see, every group is confirmed now. The teams, top 2 teams on each of these groups are the teams that will be moving on. And after this match, we are going to do the bracket draw. We'll explain a little bit more about that, how that's going to work once we reach that point. But yeah, that is coming up after this match.
You can't really see it on our point of views, but I see Nitro or Carlos taking some looking at some last minute line advice right now before going into this match on Toronto Plant Slide R, which I mean I think Wins has mentioned as well as you, Mitch. This is kind of a Toronto Plant Slide, the new track, kind of being a little bit tricky for a lot of these players.
Yeah, definitely a more technical track to drive, especially that R version. And just based on the fact that he's practicing it, we're probably going to see it again, specifically the R version tonight. Yeah, this is a good chance to cast Ecuador. We didn't get to cast them yet. But these guys are a very solid team. We've seen them perform very solidly in the past, making top 8 last year. Unfortunately, not being able to reach that this time around. But they've always been a very solid, like, middle team that has always performed consistently. And it's always a great time to watch them. So I'm excited to see how they go up against Chile, who also performed very well last weekend.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy to see, like, these teams are really solid, but they're not making it in the top 8 this time around.
Yeah.
And like I mean, we mentioned Ecuador. Chile was also a D1 team as well the past few Clan War leagues, just to show how hard this tournament really is. How hard this tournament really is compared to some of the other events here in Mario Kart Tour. But yeah, I think we're waiting for the room to start a little bit. I think we're gonna get the lineups just in a bit. Apologies for the wait there. Yeah, Mitch. What would you say, like, the biggest takeaway is coming from the, I guess, the group stage?
I think for me, it's the idea that really anything can happen. There's just been so many upsets and just so many surprising results. And so many teams that have just exceeded expectations, and it's great to see. And, you know, not counting anyone out. I have really enjoyed this year in particular, just because of the amount of upsets we've seen, and also just the amount of, like, surprisingly good plays that we've seen from teams that, you know, we wouldn't have expected to see perform at such a level, particularly Colombia and El Salvador this year.
Yeah, and before we get into the match, we can quickly go over the lineups. We have Eche, Manzano, Nitro, and Sendo for Ecuador, and Camelo, Nada versus Zombie. I believe we'll see Nada and Manzano bag, or maybe Manzano and Zombie bag for them.
Yeah. So we've seen this Chile lineup before. I think Nada hasn't played this weekend yet, but Cameo versus Zombie all being a main lineup for this team. We've seen them perform. Ecuador, though, this is the first time we're seeing them on cast this weekend, and this team, almost all these players are, like, OGs. They've played since 2020 for Team Ecuador. Sendo being a new player this year, and he's actually improved a lot over the past year. A very solid player who just came up in the past year, so it'll be great to see him. But we are casting Nitro, aka Carlos, who his former name, again, a player who's been around for a very long time and has playing with Dynamite Sapphire in recent years. I forget where he was before that, but has been performing at a high level for a very long time. So it'll be great to see this point of view here.
Yeah,
but
and
we are getting into the match.
Yeah, and we
is
currently
a star in third. I already see.
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy pull, and now Carlos with a star of his own. This will break up this top 3 at this shortcut coming up here.
Yeah, I
Very
do
nice
think
fight.
SJ does unfortunately get knocked out, so unfortunately not really doing a good job. Yeah, find them with Star. We'll see Carlos or Nitro come up here real quick, and still a top 3, even though, even with the Star.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. His red gets taken out by his bomb, the bomb from his teammate in front of him. So he can't throw any reds, but he's
Oh,
now in a
there's gonna be a
position.
blue,
There's blue shell. It's
and
gonna take out the Mayo.
that blue
And
shield
now
does
it's top
so much
2-4, just like
damage.
that.
Yeah, that blue shield does so much damage. I mean, we mentioned that, like, I mean, it takes out first, but also, like, because of the explosion, kind of lingers a little bit. And as you see, the Chile top 3 becomes a Ecuador top 3, or top 2-4 at least.
Almost,
And
yeah, almost.
we're probably going to see Nitro take the cut here and secure this first place unless something shocking kind of happens.
Ha, I see what you did there.
I see. That wasn't intense. Speaking of the
there,
shock, it gets them top 3, and Ecuador with a very, very
yeah.
strong start.
Very nice, yeah. Securing another position for that last Ecuadorian member, and a great start for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like we've talked about, that cut really can just change the entire race around, and that's what we saw there. Even despite actually getting hit out with his Star, just managing to come back.
Yeah, top 3,
yeah,
8.
Great play from Nitro there.
And that heart very important just to protect himself from the blue. Yeah, we were going to Yoshi Circuit T. Kind of a pretty big front running track compared to other Yoshi Circuit variations we're used to in Mario Kart 8. And even in this game as well.
Yeah, this trick version eliminates the shortcut. So you're just left with a pretty decent running track, in all honesty.
Mm-hmm.
Very little catch-up potential here, other than the very end. So, yeah, running can be very good here. So we'll see if Nitro can pull off another run, like we saw last race. He could go for this early green. It's not going to connect. And that's a Chilean member getting taken out. So that just leaves Cameo in first with 1 protection, so he's safe for now. That Nana almost hits.
That's kind of a funny Nana right there.
Teammate. 1 red for Nitro. He can start cycling reds now that he has team support.
He has to be careful though.
Not space though. I don't think. Yeah, actually, they're not gonna be able to space that correctly. So no reds thrown at Kamea just yet. Shroom pull though for Nitro.
Yeah, that's what I expected.
Oh no.
Yeah. As soon as he threw that green, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a really bad green right here. And
man, that green hits off the wall. Yeah, Sendo just has to go wide here and let him throw a red, but I don't think he's going to. Kameo's just running for free right now. With reds in play from Ecuador, but they just can't throw them. Yeah, he needs to go wide. They should be coordinated to go wide. I don't know what.
They do have double hearts right now. This actually could be good, and they do have the shock. And
it would come in right now. They both activated their hearts, but it doesn't look like it. Finally, red's being thrown at Kameo, and he does get taken out. No double protection. Top 2 for now. But does Chile have an answer? They could have power items behind here.
Yeah, and while we did mention that, or kind of a huge front running track, that ending little cut there does enough to get a lot of spots. We see, I think, Camilo right there, or Cameo back there in second.
Shot coming in. I think that actually, I'm pretty sure that was an Ecuador shock, but it benefits Chile. 1-3-5 for them. Yeah, Cameo did a nice job catching up there.
I wonder what the...
I'm surprised because he touched like 3 sets in first with no red shells thrown at him, and he didn't get double protection. So pretty unfortunate for him, but he was able to catch up with Mushroom.
Yeah, and kind of, and helping out the race right there. +5 for Chile, making it a 6-point difference right now. And we are going to be going to, believe, if I check the clubs correctly, Warrior Shipyard? Warrior Shipyard R? Pretty big, normally a very big front running track, but because of the, kind of the box being above a glider and there being a respawn, you can get a lot of boxes. You can chain a lot of boxes in 8th there and potentially pull shock.
Yeah, definitely. The version with the most shocks because of that respawn. So we'll see how the baggers do with that.
Also,
I don't think it's a particularly hard respawn either, so it's pretty easy to get that.
Yeah, and
those boxes in 8th.
And the timing is very important when you do those respawns, because you want to respawn as late as possible while still going backwards. And something I actually want to note is Nada's actually not bagging. I think it's actually Zombie bagging, who's been an experienced bagger in his own right as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Zombie's been bagging for their other matches, so...
Kind of a funny strat from Nitro. I think trying to get a low place box and trimming up.
Yeah. This bomb could be dangerous, and that won't connect, though, unfortunately. So 1-3 now. Maybe 2-3 for Chile here. Heart pull for Nitro is really good.
Ooh, but he gets hit.
Take a trail from his teammate. And he actually respawns. He also gets hit. So this is a bottom 2.
And I think Nada is the only one up there for Chile, and that's not really good. Yeah, it's redded out, and that's gonna be a top 3, right? Oh wait, thinking now, now a top 3 for sorry, not Nada, Sendo.
Sendo for Ecuador. So he gets taken out. Yeah, this is not gonna happen for Ecuador unless they have a shock right now. And Nitro's heart ends. No dodge for him either. Yeah, this looks to be over. And Sendo gets bombed. Kameo also gets hit, though, so they may be able to mitigate this damage a little bit. But top 2 is gone. And the star midair from his teammate.
I think he bombs.
But the bomb connects onto Kameo.
I think Sendo in second. Something happened to Nada.
Yeah, Nada gets hit somehow. I mean, good job to Ecuador to mitigate the damage, but that should have been a very... it must have been a team kill, because I don't know how another item, unless Sendo had a red, but I didn't see. I really don't know how else Nada would have been taken out, but 2-4-6 for Ecuador. They're gonna break up that top 3, and that honestly, if I'm Ecuador, I'm gonna take that race.
Because it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
So now a +1 lead for Ecuador right now, and yeah, going into RMX Rainbow Road 1R, which is, I think you mentioned, a lot of respawns in this track.
We've seen some detrimental respawns come in for runners on this track. I believe in the Mexico-Spain match, we saw Luas get taken out very early on in the race, and once you respawn backwards once as a runner, it is almost impossible to catch up without the help of your teammates. So... will we see that again? We'll have to find out here. But yeah, really any item, nano snipes, bomb snipes, green snipes, all can be detrimental. Extremely detrimental here.
Yeah, and even this red too. We see a lot of movement, I think, at the beginning, and because of that respawn, we'll probably see another set of movement right here in the in this glider section. And double reds. Oh, this is gonna be really good.
Yeah, he could go for a side
red
here.
Yeah, I don't think he can get to.
Oh, he can now. But I think he's gonna hold it. Maybe playing it safe because there was a big chance he was gonna red Sendo, but that red will connect guaranteed. And now top 3 for Ecuador suddenly.
Yeah, so Sendo getting.
Yeah, I like that he played it safe there actually.
Yeah, Sendo getting a red as well. Too. Yeah, Sendo getting a red. Ooh.
And he's gonna dodge this blue as well.
That's gonna be really good. Yeah. This might be a huge race. I think Sendo still has his heart as well available. I know it doesn't look like it on Nitro screen, but it is. It should be taken out right now. And yeah, I just see the baggers flying over. Yeah, this is looking like a very
waiting
strong.
for the day when a bagger trolls a runner over that glider where they intersect.
I know that would be
waiting for that day, but not gonna see it quite yet. And this is a pretty free run for Ecuador here, top 3.
Yeah, Nitro taking the first away from Sendo with that nice little mini turbo there to get the double trick. Kind of a cool streety strat that I think not a lot of people know about. And yeah, top 37. It's very interesting. So we see we see Ecuador getting these really big races every once in a while, but then Chile kind of chip, and then once they chip back in, another big race for Ecuador, and it's kind of a solid run as well for Ecuador.
Yeah, no, they played that very well. I mean, to be like nitpicky about how Nitro played that, I think he would have been able to get a side red on Nada over the glider, but I think at that point, Nada would have respawned forwards, so it really wouldn't have done much. So what he does is reds him after the set to prevent a potential red onto his teammate, but also just to confirm that they get a 3rd place box before getting redded. So I really like that play, because that's what allowed the top 3 run to begin. There was no more competition from Chile at that point.
You're going to RMX. Vanilla Lake 1-2. It's been a very long day, as you can tell. But yeah, pretty big respawn right here. And interesting to see him take the respawn without the mushroom. I wonder if that is faster or not.
I don't think... I'm pretty sure it's just neutral. Like, it doesn't lose anything.
Okay.
However, a lot of what you'll see people do sometimes is just anticipate they get a mushroom because it is the first set. So they'll just do it anyways. But there's really there's not much lost if you don't get a mushroom. Nitro, I don't know what he's doing. Oh no, this is going to open up his teammate to get him. He has 1 protection. Yeah, he had 1 protection, but that's going to be it. But Nitro, okay, he gets into first now with 2 shrooms. This is huge. He has his teammate behind him as well.
Yeah, I mean,
this
I mentioned
should be a confirmed first unless there's a shot coming in.
Yeah, let's see. If the shot comes, it should come here. No shock
just to be safe, and he gets the protection.
Yeah, he's good.
But yeah, he's doesn't solid. Even need it.
1, 3, 6. Oh, shot coming in.
Yeah. Kameo taking 2nd. He must have pulled a shroom in 3rd, so mitigating that top 2.
Right.
But
and
yeah, still winning race for Ecuador.
Yeah, to buck the trend a little bit, a small winning race for Ecuador now. Wow.
And another +10 for Nitro there. Great place from him.
Nitro's very solid. Kind of a solid player. Probably like the backbone of that Ecuadorian team right there. +43 after 5 is insane.
Yeah.
And they need all of those points because it is still a really tight battle between these 2 teams.
Alright, so Calamine Desert T here.
Yeah? What's up?
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay, no, I was making a joke.
Oh, what?
You said T, and I'm like, what's up?
Oh, that went completely over my head.
6 going to Calamari Desert T.
Anyways, yeah, so we'll see if Nitro opts to take the Nisk, or if he will just go for the box by going around. He'll enter the Nisk here. Despite how slow this looks, this does save time, actually, even without a mushroom. So.
Oh, he's going for the double Nisk. Interesting. Does that even save time?
No, but it confirms another box. But he didn't even get the double.
Yo,
box,
nice ACR strat right there from Nitro.
Yeah, look at that insane combo. Okay, he dropped it.
Yeah.
But yeah, didn't even need it though, because look at this double protection first. But Chile members are gonna get low spot boxes, so they will be able to catch up on this shortcut.
Right. Let's see if Nitro actually does take the cut Nisk here and opts not to do.
I think that makes sense. He doesn't want to hit his teammates who are probably going to Nisk behind him. We see a star coming up, probably a Chile member.
Star and a Mega
as well.
Yeah, I think the Mega could have been the... Ooh! Whoa, what a reaction from Nitro!
Oh my god. That was crazy. And he gets double protection again. He's gaming right now.
Yeah. Wait, that was such an insane play.
My god.
Yeah, but we do see a star right now coming in for Chile, so this could be actually...
It's gonna be broken up though.
Yeah.
Oh, blue shell comes in for Nitro here. Going
and
wide
the shock.
Make sure his teammate doesn't get blued. Shock comes in, but that actually benefits Ecuador.
Yeah, 1-3-4. I think that was an Ecuador shock, maybe to cancel the blue and also dodge the guy in third.
Yeah, I would assume, yeah.
Nitro was gaming there. I can't believe you react to that banana. That was a really nice banana from Chile, and then he just throws the green. Like, he just throws the green and it just deletes it.
Yeah, I don't know about that lap 1, but he played very well after. So, yeah.
Wow.
Getting blue shelled, but his teammates are behind him to support. This is starting to look pretty dire for Chile now.
I mean, it's only a +20, which is not that big of a margin of... It's not that big of a margin, but they do need to start catching up right now.
Yeah, Ecuador's getting the difference isn't too big yet, but the momentum is starting to shift towards Ecuador heavily here.
Let's see if they can do something in Piranha Plant Slide. Again, kind of a front-running track, but because of those multiple boxes you can get, kind of also, if you can get the shock, it's going to be pretty detrimental for the team that doesn't get it. And it is, I would say, it could be quite common. We'll see if it is over the trend of the World Cup here. But yet, going into the second half of the war right now. Right.
Yeah, and like we said, Chile has to start pushing up to the front. Right now, they're not keeping these front spots. Really, all I'm seeing so far is Cameo making a push for these top spots. And
yeah, I mean, that's gonna be a nice
and all, but one player is not going to be enough. Yeah, great snipe onto Versus there. Again, now it's just Cameo to break this top 3. I think he has a mushroom, so he can't really do anything quite yet.
It has a
oh no, he has
right
a red, not a mushroom. Okay, so he actually gets to throw that red at first. And he has a heart too. That's a great pull for him. Another red. Oh no.
Nitro?
Oh no. I'm guessing he thought that Eche would just be farther past him with the mushroom, but not gonna be the case.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that bomb.
It's just Sendo in first.
Did you see the bomb chasing him?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And Sendo's out now.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Chile. Or sorry, Ecuador. And there could be another... They are in 8th though, so there could be a shock in play for Ecuador, but it doesn't not look like it. And this is really
Chile's in a heart as well, so they're going to be able to mitigate.
Heart
is gone now.
No.
Oh no, it's not. He has his second still.
Nice respawn. This is actually a really good respawn right here. Oh, I think he hits Eche. No.
No, he doesn't.
I think he
does on the line though.
Yeah.
Right in front of the line he'll hit him. So
but still, it's still a good race for Ecuador. 1-3-5-7.
Yeah. That respawn. And that clutch pull from Nitro as well, able to get him into first.
Yeah, that respawn really good if you have a combo of like of 2 like boosting items. So like right there, he had a Scream and a Star.
Yeah, I would argue that it's really that respawn's only viable if you have 2. Because the thing is with that respawn, it's only faster if you have a mushroom or a speed item.
Right.
So if you only have one, it's faster to save it, not do the respawn, and just take the cut. But he was able to get star in a mushroom, so that saved him a lot of time. Even not doing it, the jumping off the wall strat, which saves even more time.
Right, and we're going to Skygarden Key now. And honestly, I wanted to say something about this track, which kind of came across my mind. Taking that Nisk is not actually faster, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah. So on this particular version with the ramps, it's faster to just take the top route if you don't have item to take the cut.
Because of all those trick boosts and whatnot. And honestly, something also to notice is it's kind of hard to even, if you want to take that cut, it's kind of hard because of that moving platform as well.
The moving platform, and then there's also a trick ramp just kind of like right in front of the cut.
Right.
And if you hit that, then like you can't, like you can't Nisk it properly, and you lose time.
I just saw Nitro phasing through a green right there. That was kind of crazy. But yeah, we'll see Nitro take the top route, as we mentioned.
Interesting, Sendo didn't go for it with a mushroom. He definitely could have just gone down and taken the cut and saved, because it does save time if you have that.
Oh, but that was
that shroom play with the horn. Great play. That's gonna hit. I think that was Nada out. And
yeah,
now top 3.
That was a very smart play by Sendo. I guess in hindsight, that was a really good play right there. Ooh.
Yeah, it works out in the end, but that horn could have been used for this blue shell, but not able to dodge now. But this is still a top 3.
Oh.
Okay, maybe not anymore.
Yeah, no, I think...
No, Nitro has this mushroom, so yeah, just...
Ooh, shock.
Come in.
This has to be a Chile shock. Yeah, and that's going to be a free top 3 for them.
Yeah. Preventing Nitro from taking the cut. And also he had to go up, because of how his momentum carried him towards the ramp, so he couldn't even go down anyways.
Right.
Yeah, great shock from Chile.
Now the
That's
tides...
what he needs.
Yeah, tides have kind of turned right now.
Even gonna get 7, I think. And yeah, huge race.
Yeah, and this puts it down to a 12-point lead right now.
Definitely still anyone's game here.
Nitro on 63 after 8. Very, very strong.
Yeah, definitely the...
Oh, and this could be a huge race too.
Big player for this team. And yeah, right as Chile gets a good race, they get to carry that momentum into Choco Island too. This could flip the lead even if the race is large enough. This track has potential for huge flips.
Hey, we'll see what
we've talked about it so many times, and we've seen it so many times. Let's see how Chile plays this here.
I do believe Ecuador is... I do believe they're both opting to bag, which does make a little bit of sense. They don't want it to be super flippy, but yeah. Ooh, an interesting pull right here. I don't know what to... I'd probably just cut right here and throw the bomb away. Maybe try to hit the top 2-3 from...
He could back... Oh no, his teammate's behind him. Yeah, he's gonna opt to throw it, but he'll get backed in the cut. That's very...
I see a shock and play from Chile.
Okay, so Chile has the shock here.
Yeah, and they just use it to chain themselves.
Yeah, getting into this box.
However, it is on a glider section, so this could be real. It won't affect them too much, but we do see one person in Chile get up there.
Yeah, Chile breaks into...
Ooh.
Yeah, Nitro getting ridded on the line. Chile almost breaking into first there, but not quite able to, and they're gonna maintain a 1-3, because like you said, they were already in the glider. You don't lose a lot of time when you're shocked in a glider like that.
Yeah, kind of
I guess there were no like shells pulled or anything to snipe.
Right.
So.
And I'm not gonna lie, kind of a wasted opportunity with that shock from Chile. I would, in my opinion, I think it would be the better play would be to go for that would be to honestly just go for a play where you can get them after boxes, the top 2 after boxes, and honestly maybe keep your dodges, or even just use your dodges then, or get yourselves before boxes. And kind of a little bit of a what if scenario right there for Chile.
Yeah, although I think in that, I don't know how far ahead the 2 Ecuador players were, but that may have been too late, especially if they would have, because they probably would have had to hold for the Chilean, the players' item roulettes to pull a dodge.
Right.
Or waiting even longer potentially, and that may have been too late. Just, I guess Chile didn't have the dodges there in time.
GC Calamari are honestly also not really very uncommon to see shocks. You only really get one opportunity to even touch a box in last, and we see double bombs.
And that's gonna hit several people actually, and now top 2 suddenly for Ecuador, and again a Shroomin first for Nitro, and a Horn, so he is doubly protected from any blue shell.
Yeah, and
his teammate was behind him in a heart, so he's going to be safe for a long while.
And we'll see what will happen here. Kind of set up well, but that teammate in second could be hit out, and if that is, it would be kind of interesting to see how he plays that situation there. Opts to use the shroom, which is fine, but only coin there, which will be used immediately. And honestly, this track, will kind of front run heavy, has a huge ending cut here, so we'll see if Chile can catch up here. And it doesn't
look like it. Yeah, look at his lead. He was so far ahead there, and the third member managing to get to 4th even. So yeah, another great race for them.
And this is kind of looking dire for Chile right now. I think that is a +7, or if I'm not mistaken, or even a +9, and sorry, +11. And yeah, they need things are looking dire going into the 11th race for Chile.
Yeah, and I mean, look at these scores. I think Chile's got to start just targeting Carlos in any way. Just get him out of the front, because he is unstoppable in first right now. Bonus when he has his team supporting him, Eche especially, being in second in a lot of these races.
Yeah, and also, I mean, if I were Chile, this is kind of a hard decision. Would you start to all run in the situation?
Yeah. Yeah, this is a pretty big deficit. I think they have to risk it now. So yeah, we'll see what Chile opts to do, but yeah, if I were them, I would start all running.
And this track, kind of notorious for a lot of comebacks because of that ending cut. Being such a huge spot where shrooms, stars, even hearts are used as well. So we'll see what happens here. Nice of Nitro to drop so Kameo can get there in first, and we'll see what happens.
Might also drop. Yeah, he's gonna attempt to, but yeah, he'll drop for his teammate actually, and that's gonna put them in top 2. But ooh, this pull is not great for Carlos. Maybe he'll opt to Nisk. Okay, never mind. He could still bomb Nisk actually. Will he? He's gonna.
No,
yeah, he's just gonna take it for free. It's taken out for him. And Kameo opting to go around, so no more. Top 2 is no more for Chile.
Yeah, kind of an ill-advised banana placement right there. Gets redded for it.
Yeah, these pulls are not great for Carlos right now. Not able to get the heart off, so he'll red a Chile member here. But yeah, now he's definitely not going to get a cut item.
He's had another
Protecting his
opportunity to
teammate
get
in
it.
first. Yeah, they're both gonna have to nisk if they want to keep a good race here, because all Chile members
Oh
are gonna
no!
nisk right now. Red shell on to Carlos here.
Yeah, this could be good. Let's see what if Chile does catch up here. Yep, top 2 right now for Chile, and it takes a kind of a funny nisk.
Yeah, not able to get into the right spot there. But he, oh no, not gonna be able to red out of there, and they do get into top 2.
This is good for Chile, but it is the 11th race. And I think it's enough for them to still be in it by a small bit. Yeah, so they need a plus 50, or sorry. It's plus 15 for Ecuador. So that means Chile they can bag here, but it might be wise of them to start running at this point.
Wait, this is race 12?
Yeah, this is race 12.
Yeah, no, they have to all run them.
Yeah.
Plus 15 is a top 3, 6. And that would tie it. So a top 3, 5, or top 4 to win it here for Chile. They have to all run. And that's not going to be an easy task on Coconut Mall.
Oh, yeah, there's such a kind of a front running track, but also because of the plenty of shocks that are available here in the boxes as well. A nice shroom pull for Nitro, and gets up there with his teammate Eche. So they are going to establish a top 2 early on.
That, I don't know if that connects or not, but 2 reds here. He could just drop in red right now. One is going to get lagged away, but he'll connect on the second one. Kameo in second right now, though.
Yeah, and kind of the
this is already. I don't even. Okay, no. So they did all run. I just saw a position flicker back there, so they are all running. But yeah, look, they're just gonna drop and let Kameo into first.
Was that a back red?
Eche gets taken out. Yeah, I don't know. I guess. This blue's gonna be dodged with the heart.
I think there is an extra heart in play right now still for Kameo.
Yeah, okay, so now...
Oh, but double reds. Oh, this could be good. He has protection, and he has the heart.
He has 1 protection, though. I think I saw a coin. So I think he's gonna get redded here.
No, he won. The heart's still there.
Okay, yep, the heart.
Oh, this green should be scary, though.
Takes off his protection.
And that's
the red.
it.
That's all they need.
Yep.
1 top 4 spot, and that's gonna give Ecuador the win. So... yeah, congrats to them. And Carlos with, what is this point? What are his points going to be?
87, like Jesus.
87, yeah. Crazy performance from him.
Yeah. Chile did have some moments, but I think Ecuador just overall were very, they were very solid with their execution. I think Carlos or Nitro doing a wonderful job staying up in the front, and Eche and Sendo doing a good job as well, staying up there. And that will do it for the group stage.
Yep, last match of the day here, and of the weekend. And so, yep, that will give Ecuador a 1-2 record. Confirming the 3rd place. So, yeah, congrats to them. And, yeah, what a group stage we've had this weekend.
Yeah, El Salvador and Colombia being the really big upsets. Even, as I mentioned, UK also making a huge upset on Brazil. But we do have our final 8 teams for the bracket stage. And yeah, we have El Salvador, Mexico, Colombia, Peru, USA, France, and Hong Kong. Kind of strange to not see Spain there, as they did make it last time, and I think even Ecuador made it last time too, so fortunate not to see them there, but very, very strong play, especially from Spain taking down El Salvador.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and even outside of that, um, Argentina, their first year in the World Cup. Do you want to, point out some of these other teams here? Argentina, first year in the World Cup, making it past the play-in stage with a pretty, if we remember that match, their match against Chile we saw last weekend, a really great match to witness, earning themselves a spot.
even Switzerland too. Switzerland, I think, almost took down or was very close in playing with, I believe, Peru, if I'm not mistaken. Peru or Colombia?
It was Ecuador.
Oh, Switzerland?
Oh, you're talking about this weekend, yeah.
I think Switzerland was playing Colombia, if I'm not mistaken. Then that was a really close match.
Yeah,
between those teams.
Colombia won by 20, so yeah.
And that was, I mean, even though it was a
so.
plus 20, I think it was like plus 2 for Colombia going into that last bit.
Mm-hmm.
But now we are not done yet. Switch over scenes real quick. Oops. Actually, no, we're here. Yeah, this is the bracket stage. So as you see, El Salvador, Colombia, USA, Japan, the first seeds, and Mexico, Peru, France, Hong Kong, the second seeds. Kind of interesting to see Mexico,
that's
Peru,
crazy.
Even France in the second seed.
It's crazy
as well.
it's crazy seeing this. 2 weeks ago, never would have expected to see any sort of result like this, but here we are. This is going to be very exciting.
Yeah, and I think.
So,
you want to explain it?
Sure. So, how this will work? We're just gonna straight up roll for. So we're gonna start with our first seeds, and split them up. Just straight up, random. I guess we'll start from top to bottom.
Right. Yeah.
So, just gonna roll for that. And then how it will work for our second seeds is that, I guess using an example would be the best way to explain this. So if we're looking at Group A, we had Mexico and El Salvador. So if El Salvador gets rolled first, they'll be on the top half of the bracket, meaning that Mexico will not be able to be placed on the top half of the bracket with them. So that means they cannot be rolled to play against El Salvador, and they cannot be rolled to play against the other team on that half of the bracket. So I guess what'll happen is if we roll a team that can't be placed on that half. Yeah, I don't know. Do we want to re-roll or do we want to just place them on the bottom half right away? Because I have a feeling.
Oh, what?
I have a feeling we might have to re-roll several times because we're just going to get... There's potential for 2 teams that aren't going to be able to be placed.
Yeah, I think what will happen is just what we'll probably do, since there's 2 potential teams that could be there that can't be there, we'll probably just put them in whatever side happens first.
Yeah, so if El Salvador is on the top half, if Mexico's rolled, then we're just going to place them on the bottom half right away.
It'll be the top of
we
the
don't
bottom.
Have to...
And then top of the bottom half.
Yeah, that way we won't have to re-roll
so many times. Right, yeah.
So yeah,
are you ready?
Let's get started.
All right, let's see the first team. Oh, I think it'll be loud. Okay. Do you want it with the...
Oh yeah, we want to make sure that because
yeah, I'm gonna lower that.
See, I can't hear the audio, but the stream can.
Yeah.
So, and I did watch back the draw from last week, and it was pretty loud.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, let's go. Oops. So the first team we'll see. Oh, just as we said, El Salvador.
I guess speaking it into existence here, El Salvador going to be on the top half.
So.
Of our bracket.
Let's make it smaller. Oh, oh, oh.
There you go.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, there we go.
So, there we go.
All right, we will go to the...
Now, who
We'll
are
be
they
on
going to
the
go up
same
against
side.
here?
Japan.
And it's going to be Japan.
Ooh. That'll be very interesting.
So let's discuss here what this means. So now that Japan is and El Salvador on the top half, that means that Mexico and Hong Kong have to be in the bottom half. So those are the teams that are going to be potentially drawn against USA and Colombia now.
Which will be really, really cool.
Though any sort of for sure, any sort of outcome there is crazy.
All right, and I guess we'll just finish it off here. Okay, the United States will be in that third slot, and that means that Colombia will be in our fourth slot.
All right. So I would discuss here are the potential semifinal matchups, but these second seeds are no pushovers by any means. This is
Right.
going to be close. Like, there's still any sort of outcome possible here.
All right, let's start. Okay.
So I believe Peru is against. So Peru is going to go up against El Salvador.
Yes. They will be. So Peru, El Salvador will be our first match of the quarterfinals. That's okay. I think let's just we'll let everything play out first and see how it goes.
Yeah, we can unpack everything. The end. All right, so since Hong Kong was up against Japan in the group stage, they're going to actually go up against USA.
Wow. That is a really exciting match. I'm really looking forward to see that one play out.
Oh yeah. No, that's a great matchup for sure.
All right.
So actually, I think what this. Oh, never mind. I'm silly. Carry on.
All right, let's go.
Oh wait, no. Sorry. Can you go back quick? So, actually, what this means now is since El Salvador's on the top half, Mexico can't be on the top half.
Oh, so they'll play Colombia.
So this is already decided. Mexico's going to go up against Colombia, and France is going to go up against Japan.
Wow. Yeah, because of the rules.
So no re-rolls needed.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that just turned out. So, okay. Where do we even start? I guess we can just start.
You know what's funny? You know what the first thing I noticed? the Latin American teams are eating each other.
Yep, that is true.
And we have Asia versus North America. Asia versus everyone else, I guess. But yeah, El Salvador versus Peru will be a really fire match because I think that. I mean, honestly, all of these matches are good. I mean, we can talk about El Salvador.
Just start from the top. Start from the top. We're going to talk about all of these, but start with El Salvador, Peru. This matchup is interesting because El Salvador played against Mexico, who I would argue are pretty comparable to Peru right now.
Mm-hmm.
And El Salvador came out on top despite not bagging. They
Right.
just came out with their running power. And will this running power be enough against Peru, the trio of Skull, Saiyan Tactical? Because those three have been playing with each other for so long, practicing for many weeks now, and even before that, for many World Cups. Is El Salvador's running power going to be enough against them?
Right. It'll be very interesting to see as well, because if they do opt to bag, I mean, Roy's a really strong bagger, and we've seen them have Vlagmo as their batter, but Vlagmo did have his troubles versus Jose from Spain. It'll be interesting to see if they do have a bagging answer to Roy, if the shots do get out of hand as well. But we can move on to the next one, Japan versus France. This was the finals in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yeah.
And it's only a quarterfinals in this.
In a quarterfinal match here. Yeah, again, this is going to be... Like, we all know how strong of a running cast that Japan has. Will France be able to counter that? Not only running, but with the fact that they're going to have a hard bagger? How will Japan respond to that? I know that they were prepared to bag. I just think that both Hong Kong and Brazil didn't really bag against them
Right.
this weekend, so they didn't have to like hard bag. But will they be prepared to go up against a player like Trash or Gents bagging?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we know how strong of a running test Japan
and
has.
honestly, it's a really good test for these French players. I think France had a really, really hard time playing against the United States running wise, and Japan is not going to be any easier. And it will be very interesting to see if it'll be kind of like a quick 2-0 for Japan, or if France can step up to the plate and pull out the upset here. But yeah, we'll see. We're going to go on to USA versus Hong Kong, which I'm very excited for, in my opinion. I think this is a very good match right here.
Oh yeah, a team that speaking from the point of view of a USA player, we haven't played against Hong Kong very much. I think we've scrimmed them maybe once, so we don't have too much experience of playing them as a team, although we are very familiar with the Hong Kong players individually. One of them is one of our teammates, and we play against them in Lounge pretty often. But yeah, gonna see how they come together as a team and how USA can perform against that. But yeah,
Right.
with Hong Kong's best lineup, we've talked about them before. They have the potential to pull off an upset here.
All right, yeah, and honestly, I think if there's any team that could compare to USA's pack play, it would be Hong Kong, because of how active these players are in Mogi. I mean, we talked about Haria, but also Che Wong is very active. Wawa has been a star for them. It's going to be very interesting to see how USA reacts to the pack play of Hong Kong here. And then finally, to round off our quarterfinals, we have Colombia, Mexico, which is going to be kind of interesting to see. I feel like Colombia, Mexico, and El Salvador, Peru is kind of like, what you call it? It's kind of like similar matchups that they've played, because Mexico has played El Salvador and Colombia has played Peru, but Colombia not really more of the. They do have a strong bagger in. They do have a strong bagger in Zoe, and Mexico having a little bit of a hard time versus El Salvador, but we'll see how it plays out. And Colombia taking down a heavy hitter in Peru. Could they do the same versus Mexico?
Yeah, I think if Angel and Danny play to the same level as they did this weekend against Mexico, they can pull off an upset. Those two in particular played so well in all their matches. And now we do still have a week for Mexico to, get their bearings here. They came off with a loss, which many people were not expecting, and they have a week to kind of prepare and like get their bearings back and practice, and hopefully come in with 100% of their level of play. But yeah, at their top level, I still think that Mexico has a very good shot at finals.
Yeah, and we'll see how they do against this very strong Colombian team, as you mentioned. Angel kind of like the star player there, but Danny and Diego doing a really good job, and as well Zoe stepping up in the bagging department and doing a fantastic job in bagging versus the very strong Peru bagger and Roy, and we'll see how it plays out. I think this is probably honestly the most interesting. I can see potentially, like, I mean, we it's kind of weird that they're playing, like, Colombia's playing Mexico and El Salvador is playing Peru, because they kind of did play their counterparts, and we've seen the supposed weaker seed take it over the powerhouses. So we'll see if that plays out again. We'll see if Peru and Mexico can step up to the plate. But I think that will do it for our cast, Mitch. It's been a very long day, Mitch. It's been a lot of talking, but
yep. But
I'm really excited.
Definitely some great matches we saw this weekend, so definitely worth it. And even better matches to come here. I'm very excited. So I think that's gonna end the stream here. For the teams who made it on, we will make a chat and we'll start collecting availability the same as last weekend. And we'll start scheduling matches. To the teams that were eliminated, thank you so much for playing. It was great to see such a competitive group stage this year. Definitely the most competitive we've had so far. And it was awesome to see everyone. And moving on to the bracket stage here, very, very exciting stuff. But that's going to end it for us here. Thanks everyone so much for watching. We'll see you guys next weekend. Hopefully going to cover as much of the bracket stage as possible, if not all of it. Maybe a little ambitious. We'll have to see what we can do. But
they're working on me like a dog.
Oh boy.
It's been a long day. I'm tired. I can say what I want. No, but it's been really enjoyable, and hopefully the bracket stage brings a lot more excitement out of this tournament. But that'll do it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next week for more MKTour World Cup coverage. See ya.